Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, Premier Boxing Champions presents FS1 PBC Fight Night. Introducing our judges scoring this bout that's in the ring at this time. Our judges at ringside, Rudy Barragan, Steve Morrow, and Alejandro Rochin. All right, fans, here we go. Undefeated heavyweights in the ring. We're scheduled 6 rounds of boxing. Presenting to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 279 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 9 wins, no losses. 6 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Michael Coffie. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner to my right, wearing white trunks with silver trim. He hails from Ventura, California. He weighed in at 232 pounds. His record is a perfect one, 6 wins, no losses, all 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the hard-hitting and undefeated Luis Peña. And our referee in charge now to give instructions, Thomas Taylor.
Boxer, chief second. Okay, belt line's good here. Belt line's good here, gentlemen. I gave you instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, gentlemen. Good.
Ready for the heavyweights, and let's get to the tail of the tape. Michael Coffie is a big man, 6'5", 279. He said the boxing training keeps his weight down. Luis Peña, 6-0. Both these guys undefeated, 5'11", 232. Coffie, a U.S. Marine. Again, 8 years in the Marines, so he is the older fighter. He's 34 years old. Peña, only 25. Again, Brian Kenny, Joe Goosen, Lennox Lewis, and just to mention Heidi Androl there in what is called Zone A at the Microsoft Theater. So she has the mask on there ringside. Joe and Lennox a little farther away can speak without the mask, and I'm socially distant on the East Coast. And right away we see Michael Coffie going to work. Big fella, Joe. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Mike Coffie's he's a very accomplished fighter for only been fighting pro for a few years. Now that being said, as far as his opponent, Luis Peña, you know, he's a very aggressive guy. Kind of compared, a lot of people compare him to Andy Ruiz, of course, but not as quick as Andy Ruiz, but he's got the same kind of style. But I think Coffie here is he's a very calm counter puncher, and he's a big guy. You know, 6'5" to 5'11". So, you know, let's see what happens if he can keep Peña on the outside.
And Lennox already showing a decent jab, Coffie, don't you think? What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's a boxer that loves to switch, and he's been a sparring partner for Deontay and different people. So I just wanted to see if he's going to come in the fight with a sparring mentality, and that mentality is like laying back and not throwing too many punches and getting hit. So let's hope he's got a good offense, especially in this first round.
And we'll see how Coffie also reacts as it's scheduled for 6. He has endurance. He has sparred, as you mentioned, with Deontay Wilder, the former heavyweight champion of the world, in 4 of Wilder's camps, including Wilder Fury, the first fight, and then the Wilder Ortiz fights as well. So he's been in there with the top fighter in the world, the man who used to be the top fighter in the world, and maybe once again get that 3rd fight we expect to. Good body shot there by Coffie. I think that's what Joe Goosen's reacting to.
Yeah, exactly. No, listen, Coffie's a very accomplished guy. Again, like I said, for just having a short career in the pros, he'll turn right-handed, left-handed. On the inside, he's slicker than you might think he is. So, you know, I really like his style.
Yeah, early on looks calm. Again, came out throwing the jab. And again, not trying to use his size as an automatic advantage, just let that flow. Peña trying to bridge that gap and get on the inside, but it's not easy. And Coffie with a lot of world experience in Afghanistan as a U.S. Marine. 8 months in Afghanistan. Only started boxing at the age of 29 when he turned pro. Round number 1 scheduled for 6 here on FS1.
One thing I couldn't leave the house without was my PlayStation, and I brought Call of Duty with me.
I could not leave my house without my toothbrush. If I came here without my phone, I'd probably be going stir crazy.
The one thing I couldn't leave my house without was my little baby girl. She's 5 months. I haven't been away from her for more than a couple hours.
One thing I couldn't leave my house without before you handle pineapples. I love pineapples. Like, that's my favorite fruit. I brought a bag that was just dedicated to cans of pineapple.
Wow. Joe, I must be missing something. Are pineapples that good?
Oh, they're great. Nothing better than pineapple and cottage cheese. I love it.
My daughter loves pineapples.
All right. Hey, look, I had no idea.
She's probably saying, Dad, why did you mention that?
you got to get out there and live a little bit, Brian, okay?
I guess so. I thought you'd put a pineapple like with an umbrella in your drink. That's about it, Joe. But all right. Pena coming out firing here in the second round and now forces Coffie into the corner.
Yeah, actually, Pena, I thought it was mostly Coffie the first part of that round. Most of the round landed a good left hook right hand at the very end of the first round. So he finally got close enough to land some good punches. But Coffie's been really slick right now, and I think landed the better punches in the first round.
Yeah, Coffie now goes smoothly over to the left side, fighting as a southpaw.
Well, the thing about Coffie's got some good weight behind him, so any punch that lands is a good, solid punch.
Yeah, and look, as well, he said he'd be 300 pounds if he wasn't training all the time. He is naturally thick, so he's 6'5", 279, but it's not as if I'm looking at him, and maybe, Joe, you disagree, but I'm not looking at him thinking, wow, he's got to drop a lot of weight.
No.
I think that's his size.
No, you can just tell he's just one heck of a big guy, and he carries it well. And, yeah, no, I agree with you. It's not like you're looking, God, he's really got to take a lot off the midsection, because for as big as he is, he's very well proportioned. Oh, you don't agree with that, huh, Brian? Okay.
No, I was letting it pass because I thought you were dead on. I didn't know you needed such validation from me.
No. Listen. You know, I rely on you a lot, Brian. Come on now. You know.
I miss you too.
Yeah, thank you. See?
Lennox, when you look at Coffie then, now again, 34, what kind of things would you tell him? I'm sure he'd love to ask you. What type of things could you tell him to improve himself in the ring in what he will need if he'd like to step up?
Well, you know, Coffie boxes both angles. He boxes southpaw and orthodox, and he does pretty good at both of them. And right now, I would be telling him just to focus on his jab. Don't be laying up against the ropes, because that's like sparring mentality, is to lay up against the ropes. He wants to fight in the middle of the ring, so he can use his jab and use his reach and hopefully use his power, because Pena is always going to be there. He's always going to be coming in, and his favorite fighter is Mike Tyson. So we're going to see some Tyson flashes in there of what he's learned from watching Mike Tyson.
Well, I hear what you're saying, Lennox, though, too. You don't want him, again, your sparring partner mentality, meaning you're in there to do work and not to win. And that, I think what you're saying is you gotta fire it off a little higher, hit it a different gear.
Yes, throw more punches and combinations.
Final seconds here, round number 2. Both men opening up. Nice little scrap here so far.
Well, you know, Michael Coffie, as Joe mentioned, was a Marine. He was 8 years in the Marine Corps, and I asked him about, his service and how that translates into the ring here, and he told me that it's the discipline, the nerve-wracking experience of being in Afghanistan, and he actually equates that to going in the ring and fighting against big heavyweights like Luis Peña. Guys?
Heidi, thank you so much. Look, you can see, Coffie is very composed in there. In 8 months in Afghanistan, 8 years with the Marines, so he's able to be calm in there. But even with all that experience, Lennox, you can attest to this. When you're in there one-on-one, that is still extreme. It's not war, but it's extremely difficult.
Yeah, I mean, this is in war. I don't know if you have to think, but in boxing, you don't really have to think. You have to, just do what comes naturally in the ring. And if he's been boxing a lot and sparring a lot.
Combinations on the body.
There was a knockdown there while you guys were chit-chatting. But
working.
In the meantime,
touch him, Mike. Touch him.
I thought Pena had a great. Here we go. Let's take a look at it.
Come on. Jab him, Mike. Come on.
It's a counter left hook right on top of the head.
Mike. Working.
Oh yeah,
working. Both sides.
Those
Come
are
on.
the kind of punches that can affect your balance. When you get hit around there, it affects your equilibrium.
Now, I will tell you, Pena landed a good shot right off the ropes there, right after getting clocked again by Coffie. Coffee's looking to unload, but Coffee's also getting hit himself. And I was going to say, at the end of the second round, Pena really did a great job. I thought he took the second round. Here we are in the third round here, and you know, obviously Coffee's ahead with that knockdown. But this is a back and forth fight right now.
Yeah, and Coffee's throwing a great left uppercut and left hook. So he's southpaw right now, so he's making that work for him.
Watch your head,
Good body work by both fighters in this round, and Pena again with that knockdown. Quick knockdown. Thanks for pointing that out, Joe. Right. When the ref started counting, that was the first. That was a good indication.
Thanks for validating me, Brian. Look, real quick.
Right, stop. No punch.
I'll tell you, Coffee's landed some good body shots right there. He landed a good liver shot on the ropes there,
and uppercuts,
and stunned Pena with it.
This is the first time that Luis Peña, who is 6-0 with 6 knockouts, first time he has been in the third round as a pro. And Joe, I agree with you. That's a nice jab there by Coffie again. But I like the way Pena did respond in that second round, where he realized, all right, I'm in against this big, strong guy who's fairly composed.
Pena,
so he started to lay the wood to him, just started bringing it to him. That shows a lot of fight on Peña's part.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I thought the same thing. So, but again, Coffie came out, landed that big counter hook off the top of the head of Pena and put him down.
Pena with the right hand to the body after the right landed to the face of Coffie. So Coffie, you can see, calm, strong, good body shot there, is able to think in the ring, but he can be hit as well. Good block there with the right hand, block the hook.
Boy, he's
stop. No
for
punch.
a big guy, he's got some cute moves right there. You know, nice and calm, and rolls with the punches. Very nice.
This is what he's supposed to do. So, you know, he's got a lot of experience sparring. So, you know, he doesn't want to catch any punches straight on. So he has to learn to roll with them. So this is some of the rolling that he's been doing in sparring.
At this particular time, I think you need to be more safe than sorry. And I think they're doing a great job. The commission, the promoters, the people at the arena, and I feel very safe and secure here. So thank goodness for that.
Well, you and Lennox are standing there like the emperor in Rome. You're off you're standing off in the distance, just surveying, you know, your games in front of you.
Well, if you think we're far away, how about you?
I feel socially distant. Good combination there by Luis Peña, and perhaps that's best. Peña able to impose himself on the larger man in Michael Coffie.
Yeah, I mean, Coffie needs to get off the ropes. He doesn't really need to, although he's not getting hit, and he feels quite comfortable on the ropes. But, you know, for a heavyweight, he wants to get out in the middle of the ring and throw some combinations.
And you know what, I would say this too, fellas, in regards to, look, again, I'm on the East Coast, you're there are no fans here, but basically what we've seen tonight, as different as everything is, it's almost like watching baseball. Once you get locked in, you're watching a game, and I felt like tonight Jamal James, Thomas Delorme, you wouldn't know that anything was any different from that fight. The fight is the fight, and I think we just got good, crisp action tonight.
I agree 100%. You know, look, I mean, again, as boxing people, Lennox, myself, you as announcer, you lock in and zero in on these fights, and sometimes you just, you know, you set aside the crowd, you don't even hear half of it. So, and I think that's what you're speaking to right there. I'm locked into these fights, and right now, I just think Coffie's really taking advantage right now of Pena and doing what he wants with them, and landing some really solid shots. Every time Pena lands one, Coffie comes back with 3 or 4.
And I like how Coffie's switching right now, you know. 1 second is orthodox, next second is southpaw, and you know, you can't see when he switches. That's what's good about a switch hitter.
Good short hook by Coffie there. He's cute. Like that, right? Just like
another one again. Flash up, but at no point, Joe Goosen, did I think, well, this guy looks a little rusty. You know, the whole night, I didn't think anybody looked that way.
No, absolutely. You know, that's a great point, Brian. You might be surprised that I said that, but no, that's a great point. And you're right, because when you are in a hotel room for 1 week before a fight, you would think you would get stale and a little stiff, but I haven't seen that as well. So they did a great job at keeping their guys, whatever they had to do in the hotel, and warmed them up good in the locker rooms.
Coffie there with nice jabs and a good right hand as well. And even not only fight week and the lead up, but also several months off. Everyone's had several months off in the fight game. So everybody came back very sharp tonight, from David Morrell, Omar Juarez, and then our main event, Jamal James, Thomas Delorme. And even here with these two heavyweights in what is just a 6-rounder, but A nice little fight here between Michael Coffie in the black trunks and Luis Peña in the white.
Yeah,
Final seconds now. Go ahead, Lennox.
Listen for the bell, gentlemen.
Well, we'll hear from Lennox in a moment. Final seconds here. Be back in Los Angeles. A little heavyweight scrap after this. And Lennox, quick thoughts on that fight November 21st.
Oh, it's going to be a high impact. You got two great fighters in there. You know, Danny Garcia, he's a great fighter, great counter puncher. And I know he wants Spence because everybody wants to test themselves up against the best. So, you know, everybody's saying that Spence is the truth right now. And he wants to say, well, I want to see if he's the truth. So
a hard left hand there from Coffie coming from the southpaw stance as well. And able to land some body shots. And you know, Joe, as he just lands shots, you see Tom Taylor.
Straight back. Let's go.
All right, we'll listen in there for a second. You know, everything he throws just has such weight on it. You know, it's like he's just busting up Luis Peña with everything.
You're right, because we can hear it way back here where we're at right now. So you're definitely right there. You hear everything that that Coffie is throwing right now. And
you know what's impressive too, I think it just occurred to me, is, you know, I say his poise, his shoulders are relaxed. Lennox, that's not easy for a guy who came to the fight game pretty late.
no, he knows how to pace himself really well, and that's very important.
Ain't a good hook, but then he drops Peña with another hook. Big exchange, and Peña's hurt.
5, 6, 7, 8. Do me a favor, walk here, walk back. Come to me, you all right? Got to protect yourself.
One more shot like that, Brian, I think he'll stop it.
Yeah.
Peña had just landed a big hook to Coffie. Coffie's head spun around, and then he threw his own hook, and Peña went, another hook. And Thomas Taylor says that's enough, and it's over.
Let me tell you,
So it is over after the one big shot.
Coffie has great whipping power. Like when he whips those punches around and the weight behind them, and when they land, boom, great impact. And you know, Luis Peña couldn't take any more of that.
I'll tell you, Michael Coffie, that's an impressive 10th pro fight for Michael Coffie. 34 years old, but he really showed poise, power, and he got hit with some good shots, and he battled back. A knockout win for Michael Coffie, and very impressive. Back in Los Angeles, and an impressive heavyweight fight. Michael Coffie out of Brooklyn, New York, 34 years old, but now 10-0, and 7 knockouts to his credit. And he was, again, strangely calm. I know he's been in Afghanistan as a Marine, but to be in there so relaxed and able to trade and throw a beautiful jab, it's very impressive, and also able to see the sportsmanship there. The first knockdown is after Luis Peña really started to bring it to Michael Coffie, throws that right hand, but then gets caught with the hook, and that's the first knockdown of the fight. That's in the 3rd round, and in the 5th round, and I'd like to see this again. And Joe, it looked like it right after Michael Coffie took a shot. Well, he comes right back.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. The shorter, heavier punch, and then a double hook, actually, and then a triple hook. So he got hit with 3 hooks. The first one, as they were both exchanging, and then 2 right after. Here's the same one, Lennox.
Yeah, you see, the punch that hurts you is the punch you usually don't see. And let me tell you, Luis Peña did not see that punch, or the second one, or the third one.
And again, Lennox, we said it, if he gets hit one more time, good. Tom Taylor, who's a great referee, was going to stop it, and here it comes right here. Boom. Yeah, and that was all he needed to see right there, because he was pretty much out on his feet. Taylor did.
Yeah, that was a good stoppage by the ref. There's no reason for him to get hurt, and he wasn't all there.
No.
I'll tell you, Michael Coffie, that's very impressive. His composure, his poise, his power. Look, he's a little old, but he's very solid in there tonight. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a time of 1 minute 35 seconds in round number 5. A referee in charge, Thomas Taylor, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout. He is still undefeated, Michael Coffie.
Coffie, he looked terrific here tonight against another unbeaten heavyweight, Luis Peña, unbeaten coming in at the very least, and coming off quarantine and the pandemic.
Welcome back inside Microsoft Theater, Premier Boxing Champions on FS1. Hey everyone, I'm Heidi Androl, and I am joined now by your winner, Michael Coffie. An impressive showing for you tonight. Someone's had to go, it wasn't yours. I have to start this interview with a question from Lennox Lewis, because I saw you smile and light up in the fighter meetings when he asked you a couple questions. He's got a few for you right now. He's making my job easy. He wants to know, first of all, where does that calm come from? We know that you have the tenure in the Marines, but you had an unusual calm inside the ring.
I mean, it definitely comes partially with age, you know, and just like upbringing, you know.
Well, he also wants to know what the heck took you so long to get here.
You know, like when people say they had to, you know, they got it from the mud, that's me, like for real. You know, I'm not one of those guys who had like a big extensive like amateur career and stuff like that, but you know, I had to come up the hard way, and I know I still got a lot of work to do, and I'm willing to do it.
Well, at 34 years old, you are off to a great start here in your professional career. I want to ask you about that finish. I think it was 3 hooks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
What did you see, and did that first knockdown give you confidence that you would be able to take him out?
With the first knockdown, like all it really told me is that, you know, he was open for that left, you know, but it didn't make me overconfident. You know, I still, like, you know, even after the count, I came in cautious, you know, looking to set him up with something. So, you know, I just had to like buy my time, and eventually we'll be there.
Again, a very poised fighter in there. This heavyweight division, like the welterweight division, really fun right now. Do you have your eye on someone? I know you're a student of the sport.
To be honest with you, I'm not one of those guys who say I don't look at the game tape. I look at everybody.
I know you do.
So I got my eye on everybody.
All right, fair enough.
And I know I gotta, like, you know, play my position and you know, make the come up and everything like that. But once I'm there, hopefully, you know, I can get those calls.
Now, my most important question, you had 15 cans, a bag dedicated to pineapple.
Yes.
I know that's the one thing you can't leave home without. How many cans are left?
1.
All right, you go enjoy it right now.
Yeah, actually it's a half a can, because I got it in the back. I finished those last 2 pieces.
Congratulations to you.